Beginning Hot Data podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to day 10 of National Podcast Post Month here on the Odd Data Podcast, where I am in the middle of telling you all about my trip to Disneyland a few weeks back. Man, sorry, I'm tired. If you've been following since last week, you know Thursday is my sleepy day. And I've had like some really late nights going this week. I actually didn't get home until 6:20 in the morning from Tuesday night. So Tuesday night, Wednesday, I got home from work at 6:20 Wednesday morning. So I basically just came home, woke the boys up to get ready for school, and took them to school. But still, Thursday is my rest day usually, so I'm a little on the sleepy side today. Anyway, we are at day 2 of our Disney trip, and like I said, that Tuesday at Disney was the most fun day, I think, for 2 reasons. One, we had figured out kind of the system and how to do all of the things by the end of Monday. So by the end of the day on Monday, as frazzled and frustrated as we were, my wife and I now both had the Disney app on our phones. And so I had a map, she had a map. We both had okay, here's what we're doing, here's where we're going, here's where things are. So we were able to do that. And we were able to navigate that whole thing. But the thing about Tuesday was a much more relaxed day for most of the day, because it was the free shopping day. So I don't remember if I mentioned not. So basically we were there for 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday was Disneyland Day. Wednesday was California Adventure Day. Tuesday was the Oogie Boogie Bash, which happens at California Adventure Park. But you don't go into the park for that until the earliest you can get in if you've got Oogie Boogie tickets was 3 o'clock. So what are we going to do the rest of the day? We're going to go shopping and eat whatever in downtown Disney. Because it's, you don't need a park pass to go to downtown Disney, and there's a ton of restaurants and stores and things, and so we spent the morning shopping and getting food and getting just whatever the hell we were going to do, and trying out all the different stuff and ordering, Mickey Mouse shaped cookies and Rice Krispie treats and poison apple on like candy apples and just all of the super kitschy, Disney Halloween treats. And that's like the best thing, probably, if you're really like a Disney type person. One of the best things about going at Halloween time is that you've got like all of the specialty foods and everything that they have for Halloween. Everybody's got their special Halloween menus. All the bakeries and all the restaurants have special, Halloween type stuff, as opposed like one of the things, I forget if it was a cookie or a Rice Krispie treat type thing, but it was a mummy wrapped Mickey Mouse. And so, the little, wraps of whatever, probably fondant or something. And then on a candy or cookie or whatever it was. And giant, it was like a Minnie Mouse cookie or something we got. And it was like Minnie Mouse witch's hat type thing. I'm blanking. We had so much stuff, and I'm like blanking a lot of it. But we just had all of these like Halloween themed Disney treats, and it was really cool. And the boys all had, we basically said, hey, here's a $75 gift card. You can buy whatever you want with it. We did have some veto power because they, of course, would try and buy some things that are like wholly inappropriate. Like, no, you're not getting that. But for the most part, we let them buy what they were going to buy with those gift cards. So this was kind of a big day for them to, like, hey, instead of the, hey, we got to stop at this thing or we're going through a ride and walk, exit through the gift shop. We didn't really want it. It was always a pain in the ass to stop and go through gift shops and things like that during regular days. So this day we were like, okay, we're in downtown Disney. We're going to go to all the stores unless we just really don't want to. But we're going to go to all the stores. We're going to check out the different restaurants, see what food is available, get some Disney treats, and just have a day of just eating and shopping and hanging out. And then at 3 o'clock, when we can use them, we're going to go over to California Adventure, and we're going to have some fun over there. And it kind of gave us, because again, Wednesday is California Adventure Day. So what we did Tuesday is Oogie Boogie Bash at California Adventure. So we basically kind of have it a day and a half of California Park. So we go, do our eating, shopping stuff, fun, whatever. Mind you, I remember that backpack I said I had that had, water bottles and snacks and first aid kit and all that sort of stuff. Also, which is probably about 50 pounds. I've been carrying this the whole time. Other than, we get on rides and you got to take it off or whatever. I've been carrying this thing on my back this whole time, along with my water bottle. And if anybody else got tired of carrying their water bottle. And then as we started shopping, I was carrying, boys getting lightsabers and bags and all this. I'm carrying everything. I was a pack mule. I was a pack mule for 3 days at Disney. Nevertheless, we get to 3 o'clock and go in, and of course the line's getting crazy because it's Oogie Boogie time. And the thing about Oogie Boogie time is that when you come in with an Oogie Boogie pass, they give you a wristband with a QR code, so that normally you go in and you've got your little pass or whatever, so that you can get your fast passes or your all that stuff. Like, not for this. For this, everything is done through that wristband, and apparently every day they had an Oogie Boogie Bash was a different color wristband, so that you couldn't, sneak in and say, oh yeah, I've got my pass. Oh, wrong color. Today's red. That was blue. Like, you're not the right day. So, part of crowd control. Because at 6 o'clock, the park closes for all the Oogie Boogie party stuff. But in those 3 hours, we can go in and we're getting to do rides, and we went on the Goofy Sky School, and we did a few different ones. I'm trying the Zephyr, which is one of those like rocket ships, spins you around and you start, it just starts swinging you, and you're in like this rocket ship car, and it starts swinging you, and you start coming up and kind of going sideways, and it swings you out over the water, and so really fun. Yeah, I don't like flippy roller coasters, but like stuff that's a little more, speed and going up and pushing you on the side, stuff that makes your stomach just kind of settle. You're getting some G-forces. I prefer that stuff. Not the super fast spins up and down World of Worlds, no. But like flat roller coasters and like wood style coasters. Like, I don't remember if we went on Thunder Mountain at Disneyland on Monday. And like, I'm fine with Thunder Mountain. Sidebar. Apparently, Thunder Mountain, and I don't know if it's specifically to Disney World or if the one at Disneyland counts, but apparently it has been scientifically proven to break up kidney stones. Just go on Thunder Mountain and sit in the back. Weird. Anyway. But we had a few hours. We got to hang out. And until, the chimes ring and they announced that the park is closed and the Oogie Boogie Bash has begun. And if you aren't familiar with what the Oogie Boogie Bash is it's a giant Halloween party. They have a bunch of themed trick-or-treat routes, and I think it's like a dozen or so trick-or-treat routes, all kind of leading to, and as you start the treat trails, and you go through, and there's people giving out candy as you go, and candy and chips and things, and you'll get to the end or somewhere along the path of this little trick-or-treat path, and there'll be a Disney villain there that's kind of the host of that particular treat trail, and kind of doing their thing. And the one that we absolutely, there were two we had to absolutely get. One of them we said was absolutely, before we go, we have to go to Oogie Boogie. It's the Oogie Boogie Bash. We got to go to Oogie Boogie's treat trail. Just pay our respects to Oogie Boogie and the party. And the other was Dr. Facilier, who's, if you aren't familiar, that's the Shadow Man from Princess and the Frog, which is my wife's favorite Disney villain, like next to Ursula. I don't know where she's right there with Ursula, I think, for her. But we were, when the bells rang and we saw, oh, it's almost time, like we saw them coming out from the back with the signs, saying, oh, treat trail here. And we saw them setting up all the candy totes and everything. We're like, oh. And we looked at the map and we're like, this is where Dr. Facilier is going to be. So we stopped what we were doing, went over and stood where we knew it was going to be. And we see, oh, they're starting to set up. We better go get in line. And so we go kind of stand where we think they're going to start. And then they walk out and they put the little guy with the stand is like, treat trail starts here. And kind of a bunch of people started lining up behind us and around us, and they were like, okay, well, guys, wrap it around here. You're the first ones. And then they got the guy that says, oh, line starts here, and at the the back of line here. And we're like, seriously? We're the first in line. Like, we basically created the line because we were standing there to go. And so we were the very first ones to go through what was the one that she wanted to go to. Everybody else, all the other tree trails, like, we had, that was the one she wanted to go to, absolutely. But, like, we did 9, I think. I lost track. And I'm sure I'll count up through them here in a minute. But, we just kind of went with what's close by. And is there anybody we don't care to see? Or this one, like, we heard, and you may, if you see any Disney Halloween stuff this season, you may have seen the Ernesto de la Cruz from Coco. And the amazing makeup effects they did for this guy this year. And how he's constantly being compared to Jack Skellington. But we heard the Ernesto de la Cruz line was so bad that it was taking, like, people were waiting hours to go through that line. And whether that was true or not, we weren't about to go and find out. It was just like, if it's anything like they're saying, I don't want to go with the line. It's just, I don't want the line. It's a lot of the same candy. We don't need to go through the line to see Ernesto de la Cruz. So we did Dr. Facilier. We went around because we did Sid from Toy Story. Sid was great. The guy who was being Sid, man, that guy could talk smack with the best of them. It was like, it was probably one of the funnest things about all these villains hosting these things was that they all really have to play that character and kind of be the villain and smack talk people. But if they're a charming villain, they might say something kind of nice in a really underhanded way. But it was just really great. It was a really fun time. And in the middle of this, I think it was right around 7 o'clock, I think, when it started. They had 2 parades throughout the night. And 2 just giant villain parades. And so, to one degree, there was a couple of cases where we took issue with, hey, they're not a villain. But they have this massive parade, and we ended up in front of, I think it was the Little Mermaid ride thing. We never actually went into that either day. But there's big castle amphitheater thing. And so we kind of parked right there. which was apparently right near the front of the start of the parade route. But, yeah, Mickey and Minnie Mouse and all of them, and Jack and Sally from A Nightmare Before Christmas, and there's just all these kind of floats and different things coming through for a Haunted Mansion and Cruella de Vil, and just all these villains and everything. Like, mind you, we're like, it's 99% villains parade. Take out Mickey and Minnie because they're just Mickey and Minnie and they got to be there. But Jack and Sally are not villains. Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, not technically a villain. He's just he's Switzerland in the whole thing. But yeah, just this super fun villains parade, and it was a blast. And that's the middle of the night. We still we hit a couple of treat trails. I think we did Dr. Facilier. We did the Toy Story. The boys went and did the Incredicoaster, which is the super fast, crazy high speed, loop-de-loops and stuff coaster. And I was not about to get on that. My sister-in-law wasn't about to get on that. And Sam was too little. Everybody else went on it, scared the ever-living crap out of Bug. And, second youngest came off crying. Like, hey, it happens. Warned you. Like, now you guys understand why I don't go on those things. But, because, yeah, this whole time, there's the trick-or-treat stuff and all this stuff, and there's still the photo ops with different characters around, and we did some of that. But also, the rides are still open. Most of the rides, some of the rides are still open. There are some that were like, yeah, this can't run in the dark kind of stuff. But, or this is in the middle of a thing, we can't do that. But, yeah, we ended up seeing Mother Gothel, Maleficent. Of course, we had to see Oogie Boogie at the end. That was our last. We're like, okay, before we go anywhere, we got to see Oogie Boogie. And it's close to the exit, so we're gonna go see Oogie Boogie and then make our way out. What else? Yeah, Dr. Facilier, Sid, Maleficent, Mother Gothel, Oogie Boogie 5. I know there was another one we saw, one that we went to, and I think it was just kind of a convenience thing. But yeah, it was fun. It was just a fun thing to do. And we came back. We probably had 10 pounds of candy that we got out of the whole thing. They give you little candy bags. We filled 2 of them. We all had one, so there were 8 of us. And then the boys, we actually brought, because we saw people saying, hey, if you're going to do this, bring your own candy bags, because they're going to need it. They're going to get way more candy than is going to fit in those little bags. So we did that. But, yeah, we had all this candy and got to see the parade, and the boys had a blast, and we got to eat tons of food. And I told my wife, like, you know what? If we came back just to do this again, just to come for the Oogie Boogie Bash, I'd be okay with that. We ran the numbers. The biggest thing, the hotel would cost an arm and a leg. It would. But we're like, I would be fine driving up and, and coming up, do the Oogie Boogie Bash, and go home the next day. I'd be fine with that. That was so fun. It was such a blast. Just doing the trick-or-treating thing, getting on a few rides, all of that. And it was so much fun. And all the characters were so awesome. And the parade was fun. It was just, yeah, that was, hands down, that was my favorite part of the whole trip. Like, rides and all that. It's like, oh, favorite ride this, favorite. Like, yeah, right. But the experience of the Oogie Boogie Bash was awesome. I'd absolutely do it again. But I've gone on for so long. Tomorrow is our last day at Disney. Tomorrow we are doing more of the California Adventure Park. And so we've got to do that. So tomorrow, California Adventure. And the last day at Disney. But until then, oddballs, Well, you know what? I've got 45 seconds left till I pick too long of a music clip. Remember, oddadoutpodcast.com, oddad on all the social medias. If you have any questions or ideas or things you want me to talk about, hit me up, all those places. Again, oddadoutpodcast.com, oddad on all the social media places, stuff, things. Look for all the stuff. Always subscribe to the show, do the things, tell people about it. Inspire me to keep going because, oh man, this is going to be a long day, long week. I'll see you tomorrow, and good night.